don't come, I don't show. Hey, sit, oh yeah. Jay Mortens. Hey, oh yo. Hey, everybody.
Alright, welcome to Family Health Matters. We would like to apologize for coming late on the show. Like I earlier on posted on the page and all of our pages that you're following, that the topic for today's edition, which we started a month ago, I told you we'll be talking about a series of health talks and all relating health matters on the program. Like I said, we started a series with Society for Family Health, and today we'll be talking about gender based violence. That's what we'll be talking about today. Before I introduce my guests on the show, we'll take some commercials, and when we are back, you know how we do it. My name is Grace Dorcas Onyekachi. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Family Health Matters. We'll be right back. Family Health Matters with Grace Dorcas Onyekachi, and like I said, we'll be discussing gender-based violence. What is gender-based violence? What is it all about? How does it affect our society? How is it even a medical issue? Does it relate to health? So that's what we'll be discussing all around today on the show. And I have a lovely gentleman and a lady with me on the studio this afternoon to do justice to that. So you know how we do it. Grab your popcorn, sit, relax. If you have a cup of ice cream, it's okay. So you go tell your friends and your neighbors that it's Family Health Matters, where we discuss all around health issues that have to do with the society, more especially relating to our families. The lovely gentleman I have with me this afternoon is Mr. Chinedu Obiora, and he is the Adolescent Girls and Young Women Program Assistant in Abia State. So you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
I also have a lovely lady with me. You know, when ladies are not involved, it's not complete. Of course, you know it. We cannot be sidelined at any point ever. So we have a lovely, gentle lady. You know, we are making it gender friendly because we are talking about gender-based violence, so that the men will not say, okay, they made it their thing. No, it's gender-based. So we are taking note, very good note of that. I have Mrs. James Juliet Wamaka. Ma, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, I will just move ahead to what we have because we have time is already fast spent. Like I said, we are discussing about gender-based violence. What is gender-based violence? Can I would like you, Mr. Chinedu, to tell us what gender-based violence is all about.
Okay, thank you. Gender-based violence is any form of violent act against you, just because you're a man, or because you're a woman, or because you're a boy, or because you're a girl. That is it. That's what gender-based violence basically is.
Okay, if I got you correctly, you said gender-based violence is about any violence to you, be it the fact that you're a woman, a boy, a girl, whatever. So it's not just a feminine thing.
No, just no, no, at all.
Okay, I also like you, Mrs. Juliet, to throw more light to what you think is gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence is that act that is being done to either a boy, a girl, a man, or a woman. You're doing it because you feel I can do it and he or she cannot say anything. So any act that is against your human rights, that is against you as a human being, is a violence. Maybe coming from either of the genders, it could be a man molesting you, it could be your fellow woman insulting you, so long as it tampers on your rights, it is a gender-based violence.
All right, that is very, very much clearly stated. I would like us
But
to.
let me just add.
Okay.
Okay, these violent acts against you, it's not like the general violence against you. This
Okay.
one is targeted at you because you are a woman,
Okay.
or it's targeted at you because you are a boy.
Okay.
So sometimes these acts even precedes your birth. They are already there. They are systematic.
Okay.
Okay, so and they are there once you contravene those their policies or whatever traditions, they enforce it because you're a woman.
Okay.
So a man may not also pass through the same punishment. It is reserved for you because you're a woman. In the case of a man, it will be for the man and not for the woman. So there is, you see, there is a discrimination there.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's why it's gender based. It's not like
Alright.
violence.
Okay. Can you just tell us some of those things that you feel that the causes of gender-based violence? I would like you, Mrs. Juliet, to.
The causes of gender-based violence are gender inequality. You know, the men folks, they will say, I'm the man of the house because I'm the man of the house. I can do anything I want to do at any time. So when there is this inequality, you feel I'm the head, everything is on my shoulder. It brings about the gender-based violence. Maybe a little thing a woman will do, you just give her a hot slap. Can't you see I'm the man? And there are most of us women that have the strength as well. Maybe we'll have the work to do, you earn more than your husband, and any little thing the man says, you say, will you shut up? How much are you bringing in this house? So it comes both ways. When this equality is not balanced, you find out that the both male and female are being affected. But when they are balanced, there is no violence there again. Now we have another one. You see, like in our tradition, the Igbo people, you hardly see a woman climbing a palm tree to tap a wine. They will say it's the men thing. Those days they will tell you it's only the men that can go to repair, to fix a car, to fix a tire. But as it is now, anybody can do that. So all this inequality, I have strength more than this other person, is what is making this gender-based violence very outrageous.
Okay.
I have power more than you. If I slap you, what can you do?
Okay, so to also comment there, we have root causes,
Okay.
and then we have contributing causes. Okay, so she has just mentioned one of the root causes, which is gender inequality, and then we have other two like power imbalance. Men naturally enjoy a kind of positional power. All right, even in the families or in the home, you are the head. All right, so
Yeah.
sometimes you want to use your veto, sometimes you use force, sometimes you use threat, sometimes you use intimidation because the man, just like she said. And then we also have another root cause, which is disregard for human rights. Okay, you don't care, or you know, but you don't care, or you are totally ignorant of it, or you don't even know when you are infringing on the woman's right or the man's right. Okay, so these are the root causes, and then we have contributing, factors or causes too, and that has to do with the behavior of the persons. So it could be, imagine a home with a drunkard, all right, or an alcoholic. Violence is inevitable. All right, so under the influence of alcohol or the lifestyle, and then you look at other contributing factors like you look at what do we call it? Trying to get a word for it. Systematic. All right, these ones are already embedded in the systems even before your existence, like our sentence. Now these days you hear, like, when they publish jobs, you see like people, women who qualified are encouraged, because women before now not even permitted to participate either in politics or in some offices. You get because the system before now doesn't allow it, and the family is the same thing. You can come to the gathering of women and they will not even allow you. So these are systematic. You understand? So you also look at the structural, the way we structure things, access to services. So this is for women. This is so you always see that discrimination and gender inequalities around us. So these are contributing factors.
Okay, if I got you right there, you're clearly stating that discrimination is a form of gender-based violence.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, people. If you're just joining us on the show, this is Family Health Matters with Grace Dorcas Onyekachi, and we've been discussing on gender-based violence. Like and initially said, this series we started with Society for Family Health is going to be running across until we hit our final episode. But for today, we are back. We are discussing gender-based violence. We've talked about what gender-based violence is all about, and we are talking about causes of gender-based violence. That will take us to what are forms of gender-based violence. Ma'am Juliet, I would like you to tell us the forms of gender-based violence.
There are too many forms of gender-based violence. We have the emotional violence, we have the economic violence. Emotional in the sense that a man, it's your duty as a man, and you felt, well, what am I going to do with her? After all, I have had it outside. I think I should rest. Gradually, you were killing that woman's emotion. And in that sense, she, the woman, might even find it difficult to say, this is what I'm passing through. Then we have another one, the economy. Looking at how the economy is in Nigeria now, it's affecting most families. And we can't say because things are so good as it is, then you will go ahead and do what you are not supposed to do. Not minding how the economic is, we still ask women and men to still maintain and be that person we they are. In the economy, things are hard, and quite sure things are hard. Talking to my fellow women folks, and this man have been there supporting a little way, giving you the little he has. All of a sudden you shouted, can't you see how Nigeria is? And you fling the little money. You are pushing the man to the wall, and retaliation is violence. Knowing how hard he has earned that money and how you fling the money, he has no option than to give you a hot, cool slap. And in that aspect, gender-based violence has set in. So sexually, emotionally, and economically, all these are contributing factors to GBV.
Okay, to throw more light to what she said, she just mentioned some of the forms of violence.
Yeah.
Okay. These forms are what leads you to, lead to gender-based violence. You understand?
Yeah.
So one of them is physical violence, and physical violence involves the use of fists, punching, fighting, physical assault. You understand?
Yeah.
And we also have, under it, we have infanticide. You know what infanticide is?
Please do
Okay,
explain.
infanticide is the killing of children. You know, in the olden days when it was a taboo to give birth to twins.
Yeah.
So these are physical violence. Sometimes also have honor killing when the traditional ruler dies, or when a great warrior dies in those old days. You hear something like we buried the 12 young virgins. These are physical violence. And then she mentioned also economic, you know, sexual. We have sexual, we have economic, and then when you talk about sexual, you have survivor sex, right? You have defilement, incest, child abuse. Okay, these are acts. These are sexual acts of violations grouped under sexual. You also have rape, and to shock you, marital rape. So even marriages, we have rape. Okay, so these are various forms of violence. You know.
Okay, let's talk about the sexual aspect of it.
Okay.
Because we over the years, a man will tell a woman, "I married you with my money. I paid for everything, so
Of
it's
course.
my right." I want you to, clarify this. Is it right for a man to demand for sexual intercourse from the wife when she's not willing to give? Do you classify that as him, if he forces himself on her, is that he raping her?
What do you mean by forcing? First place.
Okay, he's claiming it is his right
You know,
to have
No,
to have sex.
the word forcing has made it to be a
yeah, so,
baby.
so what do you
Okay.
mean by forcing? At what time can you say he forced
He
her?
forced her, okay?
You know, I was trying to have this conversation with my colleagues, and we're trying to look at marital rape.
Okay.
Okay, and they said you want to have this, and the wife says she's tired, and you go ahead. That's rape. Okay, so, and I'm trying to let them know it's not about being tired. We have had so many things. When your wife is not happy with you, she tells you she's tired. When you don't comply with her demand, she tells you she's tired. So men are already tired of the whole situation. Okay, so at what time is she really tired to do this? I mean, you have an obligation.
Yeah.
Scripture says your body belongs to me, I belong to you. Even in the court, your whole body is my instrument of worship, and so are mine. So you don't really have any. Denying me is like denying me of my right to. Okay, so you're under obligation to give me what I want, and I am to give you what you want.
And when I say I'm tired,
And when you say you're tired, that is not a good way to communicate. That's why we have the communication issue, because
Okay.
I don't know whether it's because you are not happy, the clothes I should buy, I didn't buy it, and you're not telling me you're tired because you're trying to deny me what you know I like. So you look at it and you find that the tiredness there is mostly like an umbrella term that they use to cover everything, and men find it difficult to understand it,
Okay.
especially from the women's perspective. They think you're trying to deny
Them their
Okay.
right.
So this time there should be proper communication between the man and the woman.
Okay.
Now, if you are in your period, for example, you can just tell your husband, "This is not the time, baby. I'm in period." Now, you try to say, "I'm tired," when this is actually the case. You're not communicating. You understand?
So,
So even if
on
you're
that-
trying
on
to
that
have,
point-
even
on
if
that
you're trying to
point-
have a break, maybe it's not a routine and you're
Okay.
tired of it, like
Okay.
you're tired of it. You should also find a way to, make him understand. You can involve in other forms, not really ahead, but you're not going this side because maybe I don't really have that strength, but because of your need, I'm going this far. So when next again you come up with, "Baby, I'm really tired," you understand it. So I think there is a lack of proper communication when it comes to that aspect.
But when the man goes ahead to take it, they say
Yeah,
the kingdom
there
of
are
God suffer
situations where
violence.
even
That-
the woman may be bleeding or even sick, or maybe has sense of a psychological thing, or she's
Yeah.
having a psychological thing that she needs to really iron out,
Yeah.
and she tries to explain these things to you, not getting it. It's you have used force. You've gone contrary to her will. Alright, at that time you have forced
Even
her
if it's
because
your
even
right.
even no matter how you enjoy it, she will not enjoy it with you.
Okay.
Alright, and yes, even if it's your right, like the president of Nigeria does not mean you should just release the military on us and kill us. There should be.
Your expression says a lot, so I want to hear from
You
you
don't agree
on
with
this
me?
very issue.
I
want to hear
refuse.
from-
I refuse
You
with
refuse, I
it.
do.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh my God.
I do, because when a woman says she's tired, she's tired.
Okay.
I'm a woman,
That's the issue. At what
but
time? are
the
you
men
tired?
refuse to understand this word.
Because you're not
tired.
communicating properly.
Okay.
You left in the morning. Okay, both of us left in the morning. On coming back in the evening, you relax on the sofa watching television. I will run around, bed the keys, cook, present the meal for you. And that little time I want to come and rest, you will come and I will tell you I am tired. Can this be in the morning? You say, no, I want it now or never. And you forget that sex should be enjoyed.
Yes, not
Okay, sorry,
enjoyed.
but you said the man was at home.
Both of
Watching-
us went
watching-
out. No, we went out together. We've
Uh-huh.
gone for walk for the day.
Uh-huh.
Then we came back together. Then you relaxed on the sofa watching television.
Why you
I was running about, cooking, washing, taking care of the kids. And that little time, maybe I was already feeling this in the kitchen. I said, let me relax. You come. And I said, I am tired.
Let me ask
Can't the Mary just understand the
Understand.
word?
you. Okay, so sorry.
I
For
am
the fact that
tired.
she
Can
said
I
she's
ask you a
tired.
question?
Go
Are you
ahead.
under obligation to prepare the meal?
Yes, I
So-
am.
And you think you are not also under obligation to feed me this other way?
Yes, because
You are
that
not.
I'm not.
Oh my God.
If I'm under obligation
Becoming
to
interesting.
prepare the meal for the
You
kids'
see,
sake,
without telling her, with all the tiredness,
Yeah.
she went in there to prepare the meal.
for the
this
kids'
other
sake,
aspect now,
and for
she's
your
not
sake,
tired. Kids say, what if there are no kids?
because if I don't give you food, you will go out there and say she don't give me
No, but
food.
two of them are
Nah,
different
For the
kinds
two
of
food now,
Yeah,
you should understand the one that should come first. And when a woman said, "Please, I am tired," please, the men should understand that they are tired.
They're using that tired thing as
You know, that's there is a thin line here.
Mhm.
When a woman says she's tired, like you clearly noted, there is a lot undergoing.
Exactly.
There is a lot, because most times I feel like what you rightly pointed out when we were talking about forms of gender-based violence, you made mention of emotional trauma.
Yes.
Most women are going through emotional traumas in their relationship, in their marriages, and I think that is really where the problem is. Not even really I'm tired of a thing, because for me, I know that sexual aspect of a marriage is also a form of relaxation. Yes, it is.
But
So-
most men don't even know.
Yeah, so that's what
So
we
they
are
don't
saying.
know. They
So-
don't know the real ingredients to put
Yeah.
at the right time. A woman might say, "I am tired,"
Yeah.
but there are some soft words.
But the way you treat her at that
There
point.
is a way you will even talk to her. The tiredness will just disappear.
Yeah.
But do you know the message that word "I'm tired" sends to most men?
Okay, we'd like to hear.
Tell us.
Because you don't know. All you know is just you use the word "I'm tired." Alright. But to us men, it means denial. It means I'm not interested. It means I don't
Alright.
have your time.
Okay, we are not discussing relationship matters here today. We are talking about gender-based violence, and
Okay.
this will, on that note, this will take us to what are the psychological effects of gender-based violence in a society. I think this is where you can now pour your heart for the men. What are the psychological effects
For the women, or men?
For the men.
Let's hear
For
the
the
men
men.
first.
Wow. Lord, especially, when you look at the emotional form of violence, it has to do basically with your self-esteem.
Okay.
Once your self-esteem as a man or even as a woman or as a young girl or young boy is destroyed, you can hardly come out of it. You will need a lot of therapy, to begin to see yourself as you. And it's one of the reasons why we are doing this, because most of our girls in the communities who has gone through this violence, sometimes it changes their whole story.
Yeah.
You see someone who suffered violence at the age of 5, 7, coming up to talk about it at the age of 30. What do you think happened between this time? She was still going through that same process. Anything can happen. I am not safe. I am not secure. Nobody's to be trusted. Even this man who's coming from a marriage can take advantage of me and dump me. A lot of things. The whole body system has been changed. Alright? So no matter how this person dresses up for an occasion, a part of how he still talks. you have nothing to protect, no dignity again.
Yeah.
You have it's as if you have lost your touch, you have lost your glow, you have lost your essence. So that's why we're trying to, SFA is trying to provide like a safe space for these people, especially the complaints. We're doing the HUW program we're doing in the state is basically providing HTS services to all the 17 LGBs in Abia. So that services there includes a lot of things. We test you, alright, we provide testing for whether you are positive or negative. We do STI screening, and once you are positive, we treat you. We do pre and post counseling services for you, and then we also provide you with preventive commodities in the case you are negative or even if you are positive. These are what we do. And right now, even in the States, we are hosting a launch for the indigent girls, 500 of them in other states. We are training them through NDE, and at the end of the training, we're going to empower them. At least each person will be getting up to 500,000 naira each.
Wow.
So these are ways we are trying to get these people, allow them live their life to the full, no matter what has happened in the past. So while we talk during the pre and the post counseling sessions, we also ask you questions about violence, because you find that they will not talk to you. They don't know who to confide in. Even their mother self. Like I have somebody I know who was molested by an uncle at the age of 5, 6. The only time she summoned courage to discuss with the mother, she shot her down. I tell you. So it was just recently that after she got married that she told her husband about it. So what happens between this time that they're not able to talk, they're not able to express themselves, and how has life been since that time? Anything goes.
Okay, ma'am, I would like to hear from you as well before we can talk about how to draw the lines in being able to get help when one is being molested.
Yes, in this GBV case, the trauma alone has killed so many adolescents. The trauma has caused so many pain to some girls, even the boys. When they sit down and remember the incidents, how everything happened, they feel all hope is lost. When they sit down and see that uncle passing, they look at him, they said, how I wish I have a gun. I would just shoot this man. When they see that aunt, they'll say, how I wish I can just kill this woman. So with all this, there is a healing process, a psychological healing process, and it takes time. SFH is trying to penetrate into these girls to know where to come in, and they are really doing a wonderful work. When you go into them, they will open up to you, then the healing process starts. It's when you open up that the healing will start. But when you close your mouth, the healing cannot start. So all SFH is doing is digging deep to make that healing a wholesome one. And in that healing process, too many girls are opening up. Because when you have something in your hand, you can boldly say, well, I forgive you, uncle. I move ahead. And we should all know that. Forgive. Let it go so that you don't hold yourself down. I met a small girl, 3 years old girl. She said, Auntie, you know that uncle was pouring that thing inside my bonbon. I shed tears. I said, who did you tell? She said, I did not tell anybody. I said, why are you telling me? She said, it's because you used to give me biscuits if I'm going to school. It was so hard, but thanks for FIDA, they took up the girl and they took care of her. So all we talk about is that healing process which comes from opening up. Once they open up, the healing process sets in. And those trauma, those emotional, those thoughts, suicidal thoughts, all will be forgotten.
And that's what I've said, because if you look at the program we're doing in the state, is for adolescent girls and young women, ages 10 to 24 years. So this program is basically targeted at them. Alright, so yesterday we had an inception kind of program with them. by the time we keep on talking, sensitizing through our various media programs, community outreaches, community dialogue meetings that we do have with the stakeholders regularly, before you know it, they'll come to a point where, they begin, maybe this organization can help, better they let me go and talk to them. Some of them you may not forgive, like she said. Some you may want to expose. That's why we're here. And some you may want to seek for justice. That's why we're here. So we work with other governmental and non-governmental agencies like FIDA she mentioned, in partnership. So once we have these cases, we forward it to the appropriate organizations to expedite actions on them.
All right, we'll be back and we will dive into discussing about the consequences of gender-based violence. Go nowhere.
don't come, I don't show. Hey, hey, sit, oh yeah. J Mortens. Hey, just oh yeah. Hey, everybody,
Welcome back to Family Health Matters with your girl Grace Dorcas Onyekachi. And today on the program, we've been talking about gender based violence, and we've been doing very good justice to that because we've talked about what gender based violence is all about. The phone lines will be open very soon. Whoever is calling right now should hold on, please. We'll be picking calls very soon on the program. Once the phone lines are open, you can call in to share your view, or you can as well ask questions concerning gender-based violence. And as well, you can also send your opinion as comment down the comment section if you're watching live on Facebook. But if you're listening to me on radio, I'll be calling out the numbers that you can call in on the program shortly. Before we went on break, we talked about some of the consequences of gender-based violence. Now we'll go ahead to broaden that more. We want to know what are consequences if you're being caught carrying out violence against any gender, be it male or female. What are the consequences? And I'll be throwing that to Mr. Chinedu. I'd like you to tell us some of the consequences for gender-based violence.
Okay, because of the increased rate of violence against women, young girls, men or young boys, the VAPA Act
Okay.
was enacted. And,
Can you be audible a little bit, sir?
It means Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. Okay, it was enacted in 2015.
Okay.
Okay, so that act seeks to prohibit, protect, and at the same time seek for justice for the victims. Is Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. So, and there are provisions in that act, like if you are caught now, or if you are convicted as a rapist, that's a life sentence for you.
Wow.
You spend life in prison. And you know some of the traditions that still practice FGM means female genital mutilations. Once you are caught, that's for 4 years and a fine of 200,000. So there are other violent acts, a lot of them, that this VAP Act covered and approved by from the government of Nigeria.
Okay. What if a man, like we rightly pointed, who took advantage of his wife not being able to give him his right, like you clearly stated? So what are the consequences for such a husband?
If I should go back a little bit, the study conducted by the National Demographic Health
Okay.
in 2018 shows that 33% of women, young girls aged 15 to 24 years, 45 years, will or experience physical and sexual violence. 24% of them experience physical violence. 2% experience sexual violence. And then they said, or it was discovered that 36% of every married woman in Nigeria experience physical, sexual, and emotional violence.
Wow.
Now, how many of them are reported? You want to keep your home. And we also had some very with all the negative consequences attached to it. Some are actually pulling through, but some have not been able to pull through. Some actually died while trying to still run the man reach under that toxicity. Right? We know of some of even most of our celebrities who died prematurely, maybe through domestic violence, and we report and we talk to anybody, like that. So the thing is, if it's a continuous, you're a woman and I'm sure you will love your husband, but you love your husband. So if it's a one kind of thing, okay, maybe happened and you were able to tolerate that, that's no problem. But where it's becoming a threat to your life that you don't know how to handle it, this is where you can now
Okay.
seek for help. It doesn't mean that we'll just come there and yank your husband out. Okay, you can report to authorities who can actually talk to your husband. Like in the case of maybe every time your husband meets you and he doesn't know when to meet you, so you've given back 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, what he needs is maybe, or both of you needs is counseling or training on family planning.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop you from enjoying what you want to enjoy, but at this time you know you have to be safe, right? So
Yeah.
families need to be coming up with these issues, seeking for help from relevant organizations and authorities who can actually direct them. Okay, this is the way to go. Mr. Man, this is what you need to do. For every time, because of this case, for every time your wife tells you this is actually what she thinks. So try to, with knowledge, peace and wisdom.
All right, ma'am. I would like you to also throw in light on that.
Yes, what I have to say is this. Life imprisonment. Oh, my darling husband is going to rot in jail. You will keep your mouth shut.
Tell the children.
This man that have suffered. Now you remember that he has suffered. So what is there is, I urge women to speak up. SFH is there to give you all you need. When you speak up, your husband will be called to order to prevent life imprisonment. A neighbor might be noticing this, and once the neighbor comes up with evidence, that your wonderful husband will rot in jail. So it's better you speak up. We have the human rights, we have the FIDA, Federated Women Lawyers. Go to them, talk to them. They will invite your husband and talk sense into him. They will invite that person and talk sense into him if it is a physical violence. But when it comes to rape, please, I beg everybody, speak up so that those perpetrators will be brought to book. Once one person is used for an example, rape will be reduced in our society. The problem is that nobody wants to speak up. When I say it now, when my daughter passed, they will say it's my daughter. When I say it now, that my neighbor knows. Let's forget about what your neighbor knows or what your neighbor is going to say. Just speak up. SFH is here to help. So I urge everyone to speak up so that we will get help at the right time. Not when it leads to the other way. They said, she died though. We don't want to hear that again. So speak up.
Yes,
You
speak
will get
up
help.
in the context of not like exposing your family to the world that you're having issues when you know anybody. No, that's what we mean. We're speaking up to seek for help from the people who can offer you that help, not people who will gossip you. That's what we're here.
Okay. All right, that is clearly noted. I would like to know if there are indicators commonly utilized in GBV programs in refugee and conflict settings for measuring violence against men and boys.
Come again.
I said I would like to know if there are indicators that is commonly used, like for society and family health. Are there indicators that you use to measure for you to be able to find out in refugee settings? Well, for example, IDP camps and all that,
Yes.
that you use in measuring violence against men and boys. Because, most times when we talk about gender-based violence, the focus is always on the female gender. So is there an indicator that you're using to measure, to find out when the men and the boys, especially boys, are being, let me say, sexually molested?
Okay. Once you are violated, there are certain indicators that mostly psychologists will know.
Okay.
The person all of a sudden begin to draw inwards because he or she is now losing his or her self-esteem. You see depression, you see suicidal thoughts coming up every now and then. You see post-traumatic stress disorder setting in. So even from far or from programmers like us, when we see any child or any woman exhibit those kind of characteristics, we know that there is something wrong with this lady, and there is something wrong with this young.
Okay.
Or then, apart from that, we preach gender equality, and in any way there is violence or you are discriminated against because you understand,
Yeah.
because you aren't given what is due you, because you aren't given this opportunity, because you were denied this, because, and you believe that those things should benefit you and
Yeah.
you should have them. Those are also another indicator. So
Okay.
we come in and ask, why was she not given the chance to do this? You get, why was she not given the opportunity to apply if it's a job, or to earn this if it's anything they are going on, or to compete in this? You get?
Yeah.
So those are some of the indicators that we use.
All right, the phone lines will soon be open. If you want to contribute something or you have a question to ask concerning gender-based violence, you can call us on 08109 055 550. I repeat, 08109 055 550. You can call in to contribute or ask questions concerning gender-based violence. All right, back to what we are talking about, consequences. You, Mrs. Juliet, you made mention that women should speak up. Considering the level of, a lot of people right now, let me not use the word I wanted to use, a lot of people right now losing confidence in anything that has to do with judiciary, going to court and all that, or picking up cases. A lot of people are so afraid about it. What would be your advice to them in regards to that?
When I say speak up, I did not say go to court. All I said is speak up. Society for Family Health is there to help you. So when you speak up, when you go to them, they know what to do at the right time. We are not talking about judiciary, we are not talking about courts, but come to them, say that's your problem, open it up to them. They have an answer to it. When their answer is not palatable and you feel, I want to end it all, then you can go to court. But for now, Society for Family Health, all they want is to hear you speak so that they can help. So speak up. Society for Family Health is ready and willing to help.
All right.
But
Do you have
yeah,
what to
I know
contribute?
that there are issues, that have gone beyond speaking up. They
Okay.
have actually spoken up, but no one is actually coming or bringing intervention to them.
Yeah.
So those issues, that's why we have the feeder. Yes, the judicial system. Yes, it depends. And when you look at it, majorly is about politics. But we still have them, and they are still relevant, and they are still judging and right things and still condemning offenders. Okay, so once your case can be proven that this is the situation, and you want this your partner, sexual or non, your sexual, intimate or non-intimate partner to be prosecuted for the violence against you, or even your husband, we'll address it. So the organizations like us will hear you. Alright? Like let's say you started from us, we hear you and we ask you questions. And we look at it if there's any other way. We invite your husband also.
All right. I think I have a caller calling in here, so. Oh, just ended. All right, you can call us back on the show, and we'll like to hear from you. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so we say we are there to hear and we are there to listen. We invite you and we invite your husband also or your partner to hear.
Okay.
If it's something we can handle at that level, we'll handle it because we have our staff there who are trained in these areas to handle these issues. And then if something we need to move to another governmental or non-governmental organizations, we do that with our support. You just need to follow and we handle it for you.
Okay, we have another caller calling in. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, your name and where you're calling from.
Speaking of calling from Abuja.
Okay, Chidimma calling from Abuja. Chidimma, what's your question? Do you have a question or you have a contribution?
I don't really have a question. I joined late, so I've been following the family health program, and it's been a good one. It's been an amazing one.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen and women in the studio. Thank you for the update. We really appreciate. But please, this program, please not cut it halfway. That's what I would say. Don't cut it halfway. Let's keep doing it so that it's very educating because of especially the young people out there. There are so many things we're saying today that I don't even know about it. Let's keep the update coming. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Chidimba, for joining us on the show. Thank you.
All right, then, please. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, keep the calls coming in 08109 I repeat 08109 Send in your comments down the comment sections, or you can call us in to share your view or to ask questions concerning GBV, that's gender based violence. All right, ma'am, I would like you to, throw in more light. Is there any measures that needs to be put in place to ensure the prevention of GBV from reoccurring? Because when you said lots of young ladies, women have stories of being molested from childhood. What are we going to do as a society, to curtail the reoccurrence of these things happening in the society? Ma'am, I would like to hear from you first.
Yes, too many things are there to be done. One, mothers, will I say we are losing it already because we refuse to be that first friend for our female daughters. We refuse to be there for them. We refuse to hear their complaints. We refuse to look at them and know what is wrong with them. Why pampering your 6-month-old baby? You look at the baby, you say, this baby is not feeling well. If we have that sense of reasoning at that age, so at adolescent, we should look at our daughter and know that this girl, something is bothering her. This boy, something is bothering her. When you make them your friends, they can open up and tell you what you don't even expect. They will tell you, Mommy, look at what happened. What do I do? Then you will tell them, you will assure them that you're always there to hear them out. Then, secondly, is the society we are in. The young boys are really killing the girls. Recharge card 100 naira. They will lure you to the bush. Mr. Beast ice cream. They will lure you to the bush. So we need to preach contentment. That little thing you have, be contented with it. You will find out that all this sexual harassment, all these abuses will go very low. If your husband is giving you the little he has, accept and say thank you. Not sharpen your mouth and you will receive a physical violence of slap. Men, if your wife said I'm tired, please, maybe you did not buy that clothes, promise to buy that clothes. We know that your promises never comes to an end, but keep promising, we understand, so that there will be peace. Then for the young boys and the young girls out there, always open up. Your mother is not that you think. Your mother is your first friend before any other friend. Your father is there to hear you. As a man, call your dad, talk to him man to man. He will help you. Then when you feel that they are not ready to help you, we have the feeder, we have the human rights. You can walk into a human rights office and say, Ma, this is my problem. They won't even call your name. The person guilty will be brought to book. So I think all of us, everybody, need to work so that GBV will be reduced.
Okay, Mr. Chinedu, do you have any contributions to some of the prevention measures?
One of them is actually what we are doing here.
Okay.
Education is very key. They need to know, right? And then sensitization and awareness programs like this one. Yes. We also do have monthly meetings with the stakeholders in the communities, like all the communities in the States. We do talk with the stakeholders, the traditional ruler, the world development chairman, the women leader, the town presidents, and these are the issues we discuss. So the idea is to educate them.
Okay.
This is what is happening in the communities. This is what is happening under your nose that you may not even know. This is why your daughter is behaving in a certain way. This is why your son is behaving in a certain way. And this is what you need to do. And we are here for you. If you notice any of this from your own family, from your own home, even when they cannot talk to you, direct them to us. Alright, we have people who are trained to handle just adolescents. You understand? So, in as much as we're bringing provided education and this awareness creation, alright, we also need to set up systems because we have systematic issues, challenges, religious barriers too.
Serious ones.
Okay, so this is where we need to, the government need to step in with policy changes around this, because once you know the community accepted or a whole village accepted, okay, to perform FGM on
Yeah.
women, so it becomes a tradition. It's a normal thing, no matter how painful or how risky that process may be. Okay, so for you to change this, if you're working through the system, they may not understand what you're talking about because they will tell you it was handed down to them. Now, so this is where the government will come. When you provide education and the dangers around that particular act, and then you say, once we hear this again, this is the punishment. Nobody fights against the government.
All right, this brings me to, do you think that it should be a preventive measure for men, especially for men? Because she noted it's not just young boys thing now buying ice cream. It's as far as older married men in quote who take advantage of young ladies, emotional advantage, because you know that a young girl needs certain help and you take advantage of that to, though they will say she agreed, but don't you think it's a psychological enslaving for you to get something from someone which you know on a novice, but you're taking advantage of their situation to get into them? Don't you think that it should be a lawful measure to put that in place?
Yeah, that form of violence is classified under economic.
Okay.
And that's where we have survival. Alright, you just want to live forced prostitution, forced marriage. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because your father is forcing you to marry this wealthy person because he wants to use the bride price to train your brother. That's violation. It's not a serious one. Early marriage. You get because you are denied an opportunity because they want your younger brother to take it. You are denied education because they think you acquiring it will not mean anything to the family. Instead, let your younger brother take it, or they even leave it till maybe when he's born. I mean, it's a waste. You understand? So when we look at these issues, how do we prevent it? First of all, we go through education.
Okay.
Now, for most of these guys, like she was saying, you talk to your mother, you talk to your father. Most of them are even indigent. Some of them are even orphans. We call them OVC, orphans and vulnerable children. You see, why do you see mad people, mentally deranged people pregnant? Some people are pregnant. So some people, specialize in taking advantage of these OVCs because you are not able, you don't have a voice, you don't have nobody, and you don't have the government. You get. So what are we trying to do? So just like SFH is doing right now, like I told you, it's not about, we're not just trying to test these young girls and then take care of the ones who are positive. And what about the ones who are positive and are indigent? Alright, okay, we take care of you. Like we provide services free of charge. We give you drugs free of charge. All you need to do is just come to the facility and access the drugs. Be healthy, continue your life, right? We monitor you. We also at the same time test you and check the viral load in your body because there is a certain level where the viral load in your body will get to and will not be able to infect another person. Okay? Now, the thing is, what about them who cannot even have the 100 naira or 200 naira to transport themselves to the facilities to access those drugs? Most times when we test, the cities will call me before they become testers that the client doesn't have money for registration, doesn't have money to test, while trying to enroll your treatment, okay, then maybe the facility notices you have malaria, cough, or kidney issues, and they want to run some tests. Sometimes they call me, so I transfer from my pocket to them. Okay, have them. Okay, perform this test, and then make sure you enroll them to care too. You get those issues. So the organization said, so what happens? Are we giving them what if they cannot even afford the food to take the drugs? And these are strong drugs. So they came up with this. We need to identify the indigent ones among them. Find something, not just to give them money, which we finish tomorrow, but find something, a skill, train them on a skill, and establish them on that skill. That is exactly what we are doing currently in Nigeria States now. The inception meeting I told you was just yesterday. So we're looking at 500 indigent kids just from Nigeria State. And we are training them on 3 months, starting from this September, October, November, and December will be a pass out. Establish you. So you are able to take care of yourself.
All right, thank you so much for your time, for being here on the show and educating us about gender-based violence. I know and I hope it's been impactful to you, viewer watching right there. But don't forget to also still leave your comment down the comment sections, even at the end of this program. Thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu, for joining us today.
I appreciate it.
And thank you, Mrs. Juliet, for also being here today.
My pleasure.
All right, I just want the both of you to just give a word of advice to everyone that's been with us on the show. Starting from you, Mr. Chinedu.
Okay, my advice would be if you think you need to talk about it, that is something you need to report, that is something you need to share that happened to you and doesn't allow you to sleep, it hasn't really gone down with you, please feel free to call us. We have people who are trained to talk to, listen to you, talk to you, counsel you, and you then come out of it. And if there are ones that you said, I must bring to book, these people, they are wicked. It's not about me. They are going into the villages, communities, doing the same thing. They need to be caught. They need to be punished. Please feel free to talk to us.
Okay.
And if you know anybody who is going through depression, is going through stress of different kinds, suicidal thoughts, because of what was done against him or her, please report also. We're here to listen. Thank you so much.
All right, so Ma'am Juliet.
Well, my advice is this: health is wealth. So I urge everyone to feel free, come to SFH at any time. Don't worry, your identity will not be disclosed. All we just need is good information so that all these perpetrators will be brought to book. Feel free, tell us all that happened, tell us all that you know. We promise you are safe and the needful will be done. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for the last words. You be safe. Your secret is safe with SFH. So make it a duty. If you have something to disclose to them, go straight to them and then, air out your heart, pour it out. And don't forget, don't keep quiet. Like I always say, let no one intimidate you, for you're the best that you can ever be. Don't let anyone tell you less. And that's the words I'm leaving for you today on Family Health Matters. I'll be back your way, same time, same station, next week. Until then, bye for now.
Oh yo yo, see. Oh yo yo, I don't come, I don't show.